Hello and welcome to the Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David-Marshall. Pro Tour-Honolulu is in the books and Kazuya Mitamura is your champion. Great weekend for him, really coming into his own, crowning achievement moment for him. He's got 3 top 8s, he's got 100 pro points already in a career that's only 3 years old.
Right, he's leading the class of 2016 for the Hall of Fame candidacy.
Sure. In the finals, he took a quick 2-0 lead over Michal Hebky, guy from the Czech Republic, part of a real just surge of great magic talent from that part of Europe. Hebky was down 0-2, came all the way back, forced the 5th game, but Mitamura got there in the end.
Yeah, it was an amazing top 8. We sat down to start watching the draft, and the draft was laden with bombs.
Bombs everywhere.
There's Banefire, there's Lavalanche, there's Caldera Hellion, there's Megalanoth.
Yeah.
And in the end, Mitamura, who did not have access to all these amazing rares in the way the picks passed through to him, cobbled together a deck that he wasn't terribly happy with.
It's true.
But he had 2 stingers, he had a Quietus Spike, and Quietus Spike was the card that got him his trophy. Finally got him his trophy.
Absolutely.
After narrowly missing it in Yokohama against Guillaume Wafotapa.
Yeah, you talk about the rest of this top 8. Brian Kibler got back to the top 8 stage for the first time in a while. He actually was the guy with the most pro points in this top 8, had been there before, a couple Grand Prix wins in his career. Kind of awesome to see him back on tour. We also saw finally the first top 8 for Paul Reitzel and Zach Hill crashing through there. 6 newcomers to the top 8 as well. So a bunch of different storylines, really interesting matches you can go back and watch in the archives. The other thing that people were talking about this weekend was Alara Block Constructed. This was really the first time people have gotten to play Constructed with all the Alara Block cards. And what was the read on the format?
Well, the read on the format coming in was absolutely that it was going to be Jund aggro with Bloodbraid Elf. Right? There was a major event on Magic Online the week before, and there were 32 Bloodbraid Elves in the top 8 of that event. There were 4 of them in the main deck of every single deck in the top 8. You have to go to 14th place to find a deck that doesn't have them. And the deck has access to a lot of cards. People were really like, oh, you can't play Esper because they have Vithian Renegades. They have access to this, to that. People were like, people were just bemoaning that this, that there was not a lot of options about what to play.
Turns out though, you put a bullseye onto some deck, you turn 400 of the best Magic players in the world loose on it, and they find ways to beat it. And they did. Esper Aggro, Esper Stoneblade, they're calling it, with Thopter Foundries and Glaze Fiends. That got 2 people through to the top 8. Green-white aggro with really good mana and no Celestial Purge targets. That got really good winning percentages over the course of the weekend.
Two different groups of players played that, a group of French players and a group of Japanese players.
There was a big Esper deck. There was a Cruel controlled deck, 5-color topping out a Cruel Ultimatum using Bloodbraid Elves. And, of course, there were some Jund decks, but really surprisingly diverse block constructed format, a lot more diverse than a lot of people expected to see it. We're in split Pro Tour world now, so we played 10 rounds of Alara Block Constructed. We also did 2 Alara Block booster drafts. What's the read on the booster draft format?
Read on the booster draft format seems to be about aggro versus control. Very similar, actually, to the constructed format.
It's true.
There's a ton of really good, efficient beaters in the 3rd pack that you are just trying to set yourself up for.
Right.
Esper Stormblade.
Right.
Grixis Blade, any blade, right? Any of the blades, they're all fantastic.
Rock Brutes and Gorger Worms
and everyone's been just coming out of the gates blazing fast, Jund Hackblade. And, the 5-color control strategy that a lot of pros had favored had sort of fallen by the wayside.
Right.
But there were a group of players who said, no, I'm going to take mana fixing, I'm going to take all the best cards, and I'm going to build that
booster draft. If nobody else wants that deck, you can probably get it. So you're the only 5-color drafter now. You can play 5-color. Esper, I think, still the shard everybody wants the most.
Everybody wants
But you can get aggro. You can play black-red, you can play green-red, green-white, blue-white, almost any. If you can get a 2-color base, go aggressive, you're in good shape. You're the only 5-color drafter, you're probably in pretty good shape there as well.
Right.
So
three drafts are in the draft viewer. You can go back and watch. You can watch these players, great players at the top tables and in the top 8 of this tournament drafting the format. I did a draft tech with Sebastian Thaler. That, got a couple people salty back home, watching it. They're like, how is this kid picking Cathari Screecher first pick out of a pack with Vein Drinker and Rock's Warm-Up?
Yeah, that's true.
And if you watch, you can see what he did. And he put together a great deck. He went 2-1. He just ran afoul of Brian Kibler, who had all the other blue-white cards. But a very interesting format to draft. Very interesting to watch great players drafting it.
Right. the end of the day, though, I think this tournament is going to be remembered for Kazuya Mitamura, and this tournament is going to be remembered for being in Hawaii. It's the second time the Pro Tour has come to Hawaii. The first time, there was a legendary beach house. About a dozen gamers spent a month there. Mark Herberholz goes on to win the Pro Tour out of that beach house. So this time, there were many beach houses. The Belgians had one. Herberholz and his crew had another one, the Buehler Beach House. They put 2 different people into this top 8. So it's just been a great time. Everybody came early. Everybody's staying late. Everybody's taking the chance to kind of enjoy Hawaii, and it just makes it for a fun event. Everybody's just having a real good time being here playing Magic. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you can be beach, or you can be cosmopolitan. You can be sort of beach mouse or city mouse.
True.
We had some great food here.
Oh, the sushi is off
the
charts.
The sushi we had was one of the greatest meals I've ever had in my
question
life.
about it.
And to borrow someone else's line, when I burped later, that was the second greatest meal I ever had in my life. It was just so fantastic.
Sure. So that's the story from here in Pro Tour Honolulu. A lot of good Magic getting played, some interesting formats, and we'll see you next time from Austin. The Pro Tour will be coming to Texas. Brian will be there. I will be there. Hopefully you'll get qualified. Hopefully you'll be there too. So keep your browser pointed to magicthegathering.com for more coverage all year long. We'll see you later.